So we're gonna do a unboxing of the GTmedia V8 Finder Pro. I'm gonna upgrade from this one here. This is what I was using before. These are the reasonably priced ones. This is about $100, $120. A little bit more expensive than these ones, but this one here, it does H.265 and has a spectrum analyzer. So we'll open it up, take a look at what we're dealing with here. It's from GTmedia. They sell a lot of these satellite products for free satellite TV. The user manual. And here's the unit itself. It's quite big, actually. To put it in my hand, it feels definitely significantly larger than my old model. Has a wider screen. It comes with a compass. As you see, there's a compass in there. These switches. My experience with these switches have not been good, but so it has your HDMI output. It's kind of nice that it comes in the actual package here. I'm going to take it out of this just so you have a look at this orange thing. It's very orange. Comes with one of these. Obviously, if you're in Canada, you're like, what is this? I think it does. Oh, it's nice that it does have a USB-C connector, so I guess you can use any kind of adapter for that. Has a few push-on connectors and adapters. I love adapters. This thing here would be mainly for if you want to output it to an older school analog TV. These are the push-ons for the top part, depending on what part of the world you're in. Strap for carrying it around. And that's about it. There, it is. It's got some charge on it. So first thing you want to do is figure out how to turn the beep off. I'll figure that out. Language. There you go. There, right away I found it. The beeper. Oh, you want that off. You don't need that. Disappointed that it didn't have the adapter for this. I do have North American adapters though around here, but it didn't come shipped with the proper adapter. So you may want to have like a European to Canadian American adapter. Make sure you got one of those.
All right, so I'm going to give you a demo of the GTmedia device. So you hit OK, brings you to the channel guide. Exit that. You hit menu to initially start it up, and you would go to satellite. Now, the one thing I am very impressed with this is it does have the North American satellite C-band. At least for this, with this firmware, it has the C-band frequencies marked, and it also has the KU band satellites for North America. I think I had to enter one satellite manually, so that's good. When you buy satellite receivers off of an online retailer, what tends to happen is they have the satellite receiver geared for Europe or the Eastern Hemisphere of the world, not the West. So I do like seeing that. So I got all my settings here by default. I've already scanned everything in. So if you wanted to enter it in, especially for C-band, you want to make sure you have 5150, your LMB frequency, entered to there. Another thing I was actually impressed with this is it has a lot of the main transponders already programmed in here without you having to manually enter them, where I've seen with other lower cost satellite receivers, you have to enter all this manually. I guess it all depends on the firmware that this comes with. So here's all my settings here. I got the frequency set there. The only thing I really changed was I had it on disable here, and I put it to port 1 just because I'm running a dissect switch. The thing with my C-band setup too is because I'm on port 1, if it's disabled, it will still work. But just for the sake of this, it will be in there. So if you want to do a blind scan, there's a button at the bottom here for blind scan, or just to simply a transponder scan, where you're entering your transponder. Sometimes I would recommend the transponder scan first because you won't scan in the satellite next to the satellite you're looking for. But in this case, I do know that the satellite is perfectly aligned, so I'm actually going to do a blind scan. Oh yeah, and I had to enter this one in manually. That's why this is the one satellite I did actually have to enter in manually. The Ontario Parliament, there's channel 1. And I should get all the CTV channels. There's all the weather channels. Now, basically, the weather channel on the satellite, it's the same channel over and over and over again. Using a whole lot of bandwidth instead of just using one channel. And this is the broadcast industry, so they're still, doing things that they would have done 20 years ago and haven't moved forward to newer technology. And there, I got everything, got the CTV channel. So I got about 29 channels in here. A few of them are encrypted. Cable. So if you have clear QAM channels, you can scan this in. It says it does ATSC-C. I'll just pull up that. So it does say it does ATSC-C-J836B. Now don't be mistaken that this is not the ATSC standard that you get over-the-air channels in North America. So you may see this and think, oh, it does ATSC. You'll be able to tune North American over-the-air channels. That's like a different cable standard in a different country. So it's actually not the same ATSC standard that is here in North America. If you're looking for the cable frequencies, if you're able to tune that. But the only problem is this right here, the symbol rate. You have to have the symbol rate, and I don't know the symbol rate for my few cable channels that will come in the clear. So the spectrum analyzer, you can scan this terrestrial, cable, and ATSC-3. So for satellite, you click on that, and it will bring up 119 West, and you can see that the C-band spectrum between 4200 and 3900. You see the spikes of the spectrum. So this is where the broadcast of C-band is, where you see the higher spikes, and then there's that little area, the 3600 to 3300, where it kind of drops off. You can change the polarity by hitting the green button, and you can switch from vertical or horizontal. So this could be potentially a really good tool if you're trying to adjust your skew or get your elevation right on your dish, and the level of signal quality will pop up. It gives other features such as mode, where you get the IF frequencies, which shows you the L band, the 900 megahertz to 2150. So it just gives you an idea of what's going on. If you're getting any interference or anything, you may be able to use this to adjust your dish. So there's another thing that it has is you can zoom in on the bandwidth. When you turn it on, it's going to make an annoying beep, the bloop, bloop, bloop. The first thing you're going to want to do is go to the beeper and turn that off. And this interface, it's pretty much, if you use a GTmedia product, it's very similar to the other GTmedia products. Another thing I'm glad to see with the output on this, which is actually a real nice thing, is when you're using the unit, the battery is on the screen, but actually when you output your HDMI output source, it doesn't show the battery indicator. So I like that compared to the meters that I've used in the past, where you still see the battery indicator on the output of the video. So if you're looking for signal, so you push the info button on the bottom of the receiver here, and there it pulls up your signal quality and more detailed information. Where if you're trying to tune your dish, this is the setting I would want to have it on. When I'm actually moving my satellite dish from different satellite, because I don't have it all automated and it's always off by a little bit, and I want to peak, make sure that I got it set to the peak, I put it on this setting. It even gives me the FEC, which I'm glad to see that the FEC is listed here, because sometimes when I find a new channel, I want to be able to some receivers you actually have to manually enter in the FEC, so it actually has that there, the 4-5 next to the QPSK. So good on them for that. So here's what it looks like with the case on it. Now the case is nice if you have it outside, but if you're finding the protective plastic is making it difficult to see, simply just pull it off. For the purpose of this video, just so you see the buttons work. Now this is a bad cable here. I just discovered that this cable needs to be recrypted, so every time I move it, we lose picture quality. So, alright, so we go to the menu, same as you see in the screen capture. Has the same interface that a lot of the GTmedia satellite receivers have. It's pretty easy to navigate, in my opinion. Go into other, and you'll have all your satellites set up. This thing actually has the functionality to do PVR and other features that pretty much all of the satellite. Now I don't know if other satellite receivers from GTmedia have this feature, where you go into the satellite menu and you can actually view the spectrum.
and pull up the spectrum on that. That's one of the nice, I guess it's the killer app feature for this. And you hit the green button and you can change the vertical and the horizontal polarity and just see how the spectrum's looking like. Now you can see here on the lower band, you're not seeing anything going on in there. And then up here in the higher band, and simply to move, to navigate the frequencies, you can move here where the spikes are and sort of get a reading on what frequencies you're trying to get here, or that you're looking at. So a nice feature with this GTmedia device. What else is it? Back to decades. Oh yeah, for KU band. So I'll bring up a KU band satellite. For satellite, I'll say with KU band, you can go over here on KU band, and I have the Galaxy 19 channels scanned in. Now I'm doing this, picking this one up with the Shaw Direct dish. Go to the spectrum analyzer here, and you can see that the whole KU band that you'll be able to pick up with the dish, vertical and horizontal. A lot of activity on this. And other features that this has is it has an AV out and an AV in. So if you want to use this as a monitor, like for a TV monitor, like for a very small TV monitor, you can plug in an audio video source into that. Has HDMI output. That's what I use to capture the video off of this. So you power that off. And to charge and power it, if your battery's dead, is you just use a regular USB-C, I believe this is, the more modern USB. And it has a USB port here, regular USB port. You can plug in like a thumb drive and record stuff or do a firmware update or whatever you want to do. So another thing is, it has the compass here. If you just want to surf through the channels, it has the up-down button. You can just go through the main channels and just use this. Like, basically, you could use this as a satellite receiver. This is the only thing is there's no IR reader, so you'd be going through this interface. So you'd have to hold this. I've been actually holding this in my lap and just sort of watching because I like to scan on what's on satellite and just output it to my laptop. That's the channel feature. If you want to change your satellite, you just go and hit satellite, and you just go through all the satellites that I've scanned in. You got to scan in the satellites. That's the only thing about it is. But I don't have any dishes pointed there. I think I have one on the PBS satellite right now, which would be Galaxy 19. I think it's AMC 125. There we go. So yeah, I got the PBS channel scanned in here, and if you want to look at the info, I'm just going to back it out here. So there you go. If you want to see like the signal quality and all that, just hit the info button until this comes up, and this is pretty much the good. Really makes it a decent meter. But I wouldn't say it's the greatest meter, but it is a decent meter. It's up to you whether or not you figure you want to spend the extra money for getting a Sat Hero, or if you want to try one of these. I think you'd be able to get first signal, but maybe you just have to make sure you're on a strong transponder to be able to find it, and have good cable. That doesn't do that. So I changed the LMB on my C-band satellite dish behind me, and I tried this GTmedia V8 Finder Pro, and the small but mighty Sat Hero did win out because I was trying to lock 101 West, the Me TV channel on that satellite, and when I was messing around with the LMB, I couldn't see any signal, so I switched over to the Sat Hero, and the Sat Hero was the hero in setting that up. Maybe it was just because that was a really weak transponder, but even still, I always seem to be going to this back to the Sat Hero instead of this. But this does have many really good features, and also the thing I liked about it is with the dual output LMB that I put on, I was able to run this meter and this meter. So I had this on horizontal and I had this on vertical, so I was able to line up my LMB and get it set up pretty fast.